Welcome to the Kitchen Garden Barbecue, brought to you by the Barbecue Barn. Joining us is the talented chef Shane Bagley. In this second series, we will be bringing you Summer on a Plate.
Hey guys, today we're going to be doing my smoked chicken and grilled succotash with an Alabama white sauce. Smoked chicken is actually one of my favorite barbecue dishes because smoking is just a way to add so much more flavor without having to actually add in so many more calories or oils or sugars or anything like that. And literally today we're just going to be doing it with these apple wood chips, put them directly on the charcoal. I'm going to go for about one rough handful with it for the whole chicken. And they'll last about 15 to 20 minutes and just really works that way into the chicken and adds so much more flavor. Paired with the barbecue spice rub we're going to add to it, it's full of flavor, works fantastic with the grilled vegetables succotash, and the Alabama white sauce has a nice tangy acid that really lifts all those flavors up. Before we crack on with the chicken, I'm just going to sort out the grilled succotash, which is actually a Native American dish. Today we're just going with broad beans and tomatoes, fresh corn, and I'm going to start by slicing up some onion, garlic, and thyme as our marinade. And we'll mix that all up together with some oil, a little bit of vinegar. Now we will add our cherry tomatoes. Some of them have been cut in half a little bit. We don't want them all the same. They cook at different rates. The ones that are cut in half will break down and make a bit more of a sauce, whereas the ones that are left whole will maintain their structure and just keep some nice chunks of it while it's grilling. I've just added in the broad beans. You can use any type of bean. Generally you want something green like broad beans, lima beans, or even edamame works really well. But yeah, go nuts with it. You could add butter beans or anything like that. And the corn is the last thing to go in, but we're just going to grill it first. So for now, I'm just going to leave this to marinate a little while we crack on with the chicken. We first start by drizzling a little bit of rapeseed oil, rubbing that in, and then putting on our spice blend, which is a blend of onion powder, garlic powder, sage, paprika, cumin, coriander, and sea salt. Once we've got that all marinated on, we can go pop it on the grill and start smoking it with our apple wood chunks. So I've got my grill set up for smoking, and the way that I'm going to do that is I've got my charcoal on one side of the grill and I'm actually going to cook my chicken on the back. This is really key because you don't want the chicken to get too hot. Once meat seals off, it doesn't really absorb smoke that well. So I'm just going to grab my wood chips and put them directly on the charcoal, and they've been soaked in water for about 10 minutes, and just give it one good handful. A little bit more, and that'll be enough. And now we can put our chicken on. Put the breasts at the very back and the legs a little bit closer to the charcoal just because they need a little bit more heat to cook through. And then we'll pop the lid down, make sure we have the air vent at the back, the opposite side from the charcoal and the wood chips, and that way, as the smoke rises, it'll drag across the cooking grate and out the back above the chicken, and it'll get a more even distribution of smoke across the meat. So for our Alabama white sauce, we add 2 cups of mayonnaise, 1/3 cup of cider vinegar, 1 heaped tablespoon of soft brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of mustard, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, a tablespoon of garlic granules, a tablespoon of onion granules, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, and a good healthy pinch of salt. Mix it all up and slather it on any barbecue chicken. It's absolutely divine. So we've got our sweet corn on the grill now, and I'm just going to put the succotash on to give it a light grilling. Oh, it smells amazing. I can already smell that. Those onions, the garlic, the thyme. This is going to be absolutely delicious. And now we just pop the chicken on top to get the juices to go into the succotash. Smells like our chicken's done. perfectly, 75 degrees. We've got a nice char on our corn and on the succotash underneath. We can go ahead and plate this up. The smell coming off of this is amazing. And you can just see from the meat the stain of the wood smoke on it. It gives it a really almost mahogany sort of auburn color. And the succotash itself is nice and grilled, nothing too smoky underneath. We got the sweetness from the cherry tomatoes. I really can't wait to tuck into this. But first, I'll start by cutting all the corn off of the cob to mix through our salad. Now we'll just sort of squidge all our chicken to one side and pop the corn in, give it a good mix up. It smells so good. All right, I'm just going to put a good handful on my plate here, slice right into it. And you can see how juicy it is, and there's a little bit of a pink hue right around the edge of the meat, and that's something called a smoke ring. A lot of people get really nervous when they see pink meat, especially with chicken, but it's actually a visual indication of how far in the smoke is absorbed into the meat. As long as it's along the skin and not in the center, you're good to go. We also used a temperature probe to make sure it was perfectly cooked, so we know we're safe anyway. And just going to pop that on top with a little bit of our Alabama white sauce on each piece, and then plenty of chives, and that is our apple smoked chicken with grilled succotash and Alabama white sauce.
The recipes which Shane has shared with us in this series have come about following the many requests from our lovely customers. We hope you enjoyed the recipes, and we look forward to seeing your cooks on social media. When posting, don't forget to hashtag #BarbecueBarn.